The brightness of this day has given me the opportunity to bring you this video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Issy. Now, where is that one coming from? My husband keeps asking me, can't you say anything apart from hi guys and find something else? I said, okay, then the brightness of this day has given me the opportunity to bring you this video. So let me know what you think about my new intro, okay? Because okay, this is not even an intro, but like, you know, like my welcome speech, okay? Just let me know what you think about it. But as you can tell from the title of this video, we're talking about teething. Teething. Okay, so teething is basically the process of your baby's teeth erupting from their gums. Now, before I start, please remember this. Every child is different. Every baby is different. We are all individuals. We all have our differences. So try not to compare your baby to your best friend's baby, to your cousin's baby, to your sister's baby when you all gave birth around the same time, or you even gave birth in different years. The fact that you gave birth together with your sister, but at 6 months her baby has 2 teeth and yours has none, doesn't mean that there's something wrong with your child. Okay, the very first teeth erupt starting from between 3 and 4 months, and as early as 3 and 4 months, and it could come in as late as 14 months, 12 months. Some babies is when they are celebrating their first birthday that one tooth is finally erupting, or the bottom, usually the bottom teeth come out first, the bottom 2. So try not to compare your baby, and don't compare your babies. So maybe this is your 3rd baby and you're like, hey, by you, when your big sister was 6 months, she had 3 teeth already, or by 5 months she had 2. Don't do that. If you feel like there's a delay, you always talk to your baby's pediatrician. Okay, now let's begin. Teething. Now I'm going to talk about the signs of teething and then give you some remedies that you can help to make the process a little easier for your little one. Now the first thing I'm going to talk about is drooling. Excessive drooling. Now this I experienced. I'm going to talk about all the ones that I know or I've read about, and then talk about the ones that I have experienced with my son. Drooling was number 1. Now the first time I noticed it, this was after he had gotten his first 2. I don't remember really paying attention during that time, but when the next sets were coming in, and this was at about 7.5 months, when he was getting 6 at a time, there was one night we were sitting on the bed and we're playing with him, and he was just drooling like a tap. It was just coming. I was like, boss, what is going on with you? And I was like, wait, so drooling is a sign of teething, so it's possible that he's teething. And then another sign of teething is mouth odor. Now that same day that we realized that he was just drooling excessively, we realized that his mouth was smelling. We're like, Ethel, are you alright? So is everything okay? So we checked. So I was like, okay, I was worried about that. I was like, how on earth can you have a mouth odor at this age? So I checked online, and then I found a few blogs and mom forums that talked about the fact that when their babies are teething, like, they actually could have a mouth odor. And then there were other ones that I read that said that it could be a sign of sinus infection or sinus issues. But over the past 1.5 years, I've noticed that whenever he's teething, he has a mouth odor that comes along with it. So that one, I've settled this when it comes to him. So but once the teeth erupts, then the mouth odor, it just vanishes as if it was never even there in the first place. Now the next sign of teething is fussiness. So they become fussy, they become irritable. It's like on and off, you know. And I don't know how to explain it, but I tie it in with their refusal to eat. So when I realized that over a 2-3 day period, serum has become some way about eating, he's refusing to eat, then that's the first suspicion he's probably teething. And I feel like I can identify with the pains of teething because I still really vividly remember my pains when my wisdom teeth were coming in. I was in SSS and I couldn't chew in Katia burger. I couldn't chew bread because it's like the pain of the tooth and the gum, no, so I completely understand. So when I noticed that, and I realized that okay, he's probably teething. And when you run a clean finger over the gum, you can feel it. You can feel that, oh, if something is about to come out of that side of the gum, so you know which tooth wants to come out. And then another sign of teething is disrupted sleep. So I don't know how to explain the disrupted sleep, but I'm able to tell when, because usually, okay, now I'm going to use the time frame from when he's been sleeping through the night. He usually sleeps through the night without waking up, without any fuss. But then when he comes, when there's a period or an interval where he keeps waking up intermittently, not really fully awake, and he goes back to sleep, I feel like he is disrupted. So I don't know how to explain this, but I'm able to tell with serum when that is happening, to know that okay, it's tying in with teething. So usually all these symptoms for him, the drooling, the drooling, the being irritable, the disrupted sleep, and the mouth odor, they all come in at the same time. So then I know that okay, this is what's going on with him. Another sign of teething is loose bowels. Now this one, you need to be careful not to automatically assume that because your baby has diarrhea or has loose bowels, it means that he's teething. It could be something else. It could be a more serious problem, maybe something they've eaten or you have eaten and have passed it through to your baby in the breast milk. So that one, you need to be careful about that. But I hear it's because they swallow, because they are drooling a lot, they are swallowing a lot of saliva, so that sort of gives them loose bowels. So that's with that. Now we've talked about the signs of teething. Now how can you help your baby through the process of teething to make it a little easier for them? Now we're going to talk about some of the remedies that you can use to make the teething process easier. First remedy, teething toys. This teething toy has been through a lot. Okay, so it has a soft part, it has a soft part, it has a hard part, it has, okay, these two parts are hard, but they have these ridges and everything. And when we first bought it, I read the packaging and it gave the various uses, I don't know, for each side. But of course, they are not, the little humans who are actually using it, they are not going to use it the way the manufacturer has intended. So I don't even know why they bother, but they chew on it and it gives them some relief. Now you can also cool these in the fridge so that it cools their gums when they are biting on it. Now you don't want to use the one, there are some that have that are filled with some gel. Don't freeze those ones, okay? So if you have ones that are like these, they are hard, they can just cool them, and then it helps to cool their gums when they bite on them. Still on the topic of cooling, remember this washcloth. If you haven't watched my video on gifts to give a new mom, please go and watch that one. This is a washcloth. What I learned back then, and it helped with serum, was to fill it with, like, to drench it in drinking water. So make sure it's a clean washcloth. Drench it with drinking water, sterilized drinking water, and then place it in the fridge. Let it become very cool before you give it to your baby. Me, I was freezing it, so when it becomes, I'll put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer, and then when it's like very, not like hard frozen though, but quite frozen, if I should put it that way, then I'll give it to him. So he would bite on it, bite on it, bite on it. He enjoyed it, and it's like, I guess it was helping him till the water ran out of it and it was no longer cold or solid. So that's another way you can help them to relieve their teething. So the cooling, the cool substances help with cooling the gum and numbing the pain. You can give them cool, so if they are past the age of 6 months, you've introduced food to them, you can give them cool, like if you're giving them their yogurt, you can give it to them cool, or their fruit purees, or you can even freeze their purees like popsicles. and give it to them past the age of 6 months. If you hear my little human crying in the background, he's fighting with the nanny about his breakfast, so just ignore him, okay? And another, you can also use breast milk actually, so you can freeze the breast milk. So I would use that. I didn't do that with serum though. Where before he turned 6 months, the only way I was relieving his teething was by him using the teething toy. And you'd notice another sign of teething is that you realize that they keep they'll start biting, they'll be shoving their face in their mouth, they'll start biting on anything that they can get. So Serum used to bite his seatbelt a lot. His seatbelt in the car, from the car seat, he would chew on it a lot whenever he was teething. So when you realize that they start biting, you just take your finger and just start biting it. They are teething. Another way you can relieve their teething is by putting a clean, make sure that you've washed your hands are clean, and then you just rub their gums. It's like, it's just, sometimes people say that their gums are itching. I don't know if that's the sensation that they feel to relieve it. Sometimes what I will do is I will do this, and then for some reason he just enjoyed biting on it. So that's another way to relieve that. So now you know how I am that about me. So when I'm sick, I like to be pampered. So in the same way, pamper your little humans when you realize that they are going through the discomfort of teething, because this one they have a long way to go. But typically I've read that by age 2 all of their teeth should be in, all 24. They get a set of 24 first, so all 24 of them should be in. Cuddle them a lot, give them a lot of kisses, just pamper them so that they feel, you know, like, yeah, this is it's not too bad. One last remedy is medication. I hear there are some teething powders out there, and maybe if they have like a low-grade fever, giving them some ibuprofen, baby ibuprofen, to help relieve their pain. But for me, I'm somewhere when it comes to medicine, when it comes to him, so I don't run to anything medicated as my first point of call. I'd rather use the non-medicated ones first before. So in all of these things, when it comes to the medication aspect, remember to bless me. Remember to talk to your baby's pediatrician before. In all of these things, remember to talk to your baby's pediatrician before you give any medication to your children. So I hope, as always, that this video was informative, that it was helpful. If there are other remedies that you use for your kids that I did not talk about, please feel free to leave that in the comment section so that we learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.